A runner pushes through an intense 5-mile city route, checks her smartwatch to log the pace, and drops onto a park bench to recover. In that exact moment, her attention has high commercial value to a sports nutrition brand. Yet the fitness app she's using likely sells that impression to a generic ad network, which serves a low-relevance banner ad and pays the app a fraction of a cent. The app developer faces a trap. They can accept those terrible margins from legacy networks, or they can try to build their own intelligent ad tech stack from scratch, a project requiring specialized machine learning teams, platform connectors, and an initial capital expenditure of $20 million. Nexus provides a third option. It operates as neutral advertising infrastructure, performing the exact same function for digital properties that Stripe performs for payments or Twilio does for communications. By plugging into a pre-built circumstance engine, independent digital platforms monetize their own audiences natively, bypassing the technology monopolies that traditionally dictate digital ad rates. A publisher integrates this capability via an asynchronous software development kit. The SDK adds less than 2 megabytes to the application bundle, operates in the background, and never blocks the main thread of the host application. Instead of relying on historical behavioral profiles like third-party cookies, Nexus evaluates immediate environmental context. The platform ingests data across 14 distinct circumstantial dimensions. It evaluates local weather patterns, time of day, exact geographic location, and even live inputs from Internet of Things devices. The system correlates these 14 dimensions and executes a complete programmatic ad auction in under 15 milliseconds. Targeting a user who finished a workout in the rain 2 minutes ago yields vastly higher click-through rates and commands up to 20 times the CPM of a static, generic user profile. Operating a circumstance engine at this scale introduces a technical paradox. Training a global intelligence network requires massive amounts of data, but centralizing that raw data violates user privacy and publisher trust. A 3-layer architecture solves this. Layer 1 secures proprietary publisher data. Data flows to Layer 2, stripping identifiable markers to leave anonymized behavioral signals. These patterns feed Layer 3, sharing optimized logic across the entire network without exposing underlying user data. This creates cross-vertical intelligence. A food delivery app and a fitness app share no raw data, but Layer 3 recognizes when a specific subset of fitness users shows elevated receptivity to health food messaging on Tuesday evenings. Both publishers benefit from the shared pattern recognition. A company that spends $20 million building an internal ad tool only learns from its own users. It remains completely blind to this network-level intelligence, making the isolated build strictly inferior to the shared infrastructure. Access to this infrastructure requires a dual economic structure. Publishers pay a flat monthly software-as-a-service subscription, and they split the revenue generated from ad impressions with Nexus. This financial waterfall shows a 2 million user publisher generating $382,000 gross revenue. We deduct 20% platform fees. The net revenue splits, leaving the publisher $214,000. Subtracting their $12,000 subscription leaves over $200,000 pure profit. Publishers can also access a secondary revenue stream through the direct marketplace. This private auction connects advertisers directly to the publisher's inventory, bypassing external programmatic API fees entirely and generating a 43% higher margin per impression. A software tool yielding a 2,000% return on investment ceases to be an operational expense. It operates as a permanent, high-yield profit center. Leaving the platform means mathematically choosing to abandon a 6-figure monthly revenue stream. Nexus limits its initial market entry to a single vertical, completely absorbing its specific behavioral signals before expanding into adjacent markets. The beachhead vertical is food and delivery. This sector offers daily user purchase frequency and a deep library of immediate environmental signals, like local weather disruptions and specific mealtime windows. Once the models master food delivery, the platform expands to fitness, utilizing adjacent physical recovery windows. Then it targets the beauty sector, optimizing against localized social trends and occasion-based purchasing. As each successive vertical is captured, the Layer 3 intelligence compounds. The cross-vertical behavioral patterns become so dense that any new competitor attempting to build alternative infrastructure faces an impossible data deficit. The digital advertising industry currently forces publishers to manage a fragmented stack of supply-side platforms, data managers, and measurement tools. Nexus replaces this complex vendor network with a single SDK integration. The objective is to establish the underlying operating system for commerce advertising. Advertisers write their campaign intent once, and the infrastructure executes, optimizes, and measures it everywhere. In this architecture, legacy tech monopolies like Google and Meta transition from acting as centralized intelligence hubs into serving as basic delivery conduits, similar to how cellular networks carry mobile data. The irony is that these massive platforms will actively compete to carry Nexus-orchestrated campaigns. Because Nexus applies hyper-specific circumstantial intelligence, these campaigns generate higher engagement and prove more valuable to the legacy platform's own internal auctions than direct advertiser submissions. The future of digital monetization relies on neutral infrastructure that makes data intelligent and actionable across thousands of independent surfaces, rather than central hubs that merely hoard it.